Do you believe the collective work refusal will end when the strike does, even if Hoyo doesn't sign the agreement?
Actors are too afraid to say anything because the minute that we do, we're blacklisted. I know I'm blacklisted from the last studio I spoke about this about. I had sent word to Hoyo that said I refuse to come back until the game is union specifically. Remember, I like a year or two ago, I had come forward stating that I had not gotten paid within 7 months, like for 7 months. I'm getting more into debt because I'm not getting paid on time.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Paper Bag Boy here. So today we are interviewing Paimon's VA, Corina Bedker. I would like to say this is an interview, not a debate, so I expect everyone in the comments to be as respectful and cordial as possible. So hello, Corina. Welcome to the channel. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. I've been reading a lot of books lately because I've been kind of sick, so I haven't been able to stream or anything, but I've been reading a lot of books, and I got into Fourth Wing. It took over my life.
Yeah, I saw that on your Blue Sky. I saw that you posted about it.
Yeah. I got my other friend Kaylee Mills into it. She then became obsessed with it so much that she got her nails done inspired by Fourth
No
Wing.
way.
It was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you land the role of Paimon in Genshin Impact?
Okay, so it was like every other audition that you kind of do in the industry. Got a random audition from my agent, and it was like, this is project, and I don't remember what the code name was at the time because they don't tell you what you're auditioning for ever in video games because of NDAs and stuff. But it was for the character of Paimon, the female traveler, and also Amber. And I auditioned for it, then turned it in, completely forgot about it until like a month later. All of a sudden, I get a call from my agent saying, "Hey, they need you to come in for a callback for Paimon." And I was like, "Great." I don't remember auditioning for that. So then I went back, re-listened to what I auditioned with, and then walked into the callback, saw that my friend Chris Fiella was the director, and I was really excited because I love him. And he was then like, "They don't want this to sound like anime at all." That was a lie, by the way. They want it completely grounded. So it's really funny because what I auditioned with Paimon was much closer to this sound than what it ended up being.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How different do you think your life would be if you actually landed the role of the female traveler? Do you think it would be any different?
I think I would have recorded a lot less.
You think there'd be like a lot less drama going on right now?
I don't know. You know, drama happens to everybody,
Yeah,
right?
definitely, definitely. So what was your reaction to actually landing the role? Did you know it was going to be such an iconic character or not?
I don't even think Hoyo realized how big it was going to be. So like I also did not like I knew they basically said when I walked in for my first recording, "You're the Navi of this world," like from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I was like, "Oh, I've always wanted to be Navi. I know people find her annoying, but I like her."
I
And
do too, actually. I like her a lot.
yeah, I like it. And so I was really excited. And I also didn't realize that it was going to be a continuous thing. I remember getting it to the end of like 1.1 recording, and then they were like, "Okay, you're done." And I thought, huh, when did we save the sibling? I'm sure it'll make sense when the game comes out. Fine, I'm done with this game completely because we had just got a win against Storm, the dragon.
Yeah.
Dvalin, yes. We just and it ended there, and they said I was done, and I thought that meant I was done. And then they had called me back like a month later, and they were like, "Hey, you have pickups," and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's normal pickups, right? Why do I have a 4-hour slot for pickups? That's a lot of pickups. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to question it." And then I go in, and then they're like, "Yeah, you got about like 10 pickups today," and I'm like, "And I need 4 hours for that?" And they're like, "Well, then you're going to continue on with 1.2." And I go, "What do you mean 1.2?
So you found out that you were doing more?
And then that was when like the director was like, "Oh yeah, you're going to be recording this for like 5 years."
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my goodness, that's insane. So explain to the audience what is a pickup?
So a pickup is like, let's say you record something in normal fashion. You're going through the script, you record something, and then either later on in the editing process, they discover oh, we need to record this differently because something in the video game looks different than how we originally described it in the script,
Yeah.
because they do make changes based off of that sometimes. Or one of the writers is like, I think that could be worded better. So let's re-record it. Or another reason they could even do a pickup is like sometimes they've said, so you put emphasis on this word, and we actually want emphasis on this word.
Yeah.
It could be as simple as that. And then, like, on the very rare occasion, sometimes, when you're in the recording, you're recording there for 4 hours. The sound engineer is probably sick of hearing me because I have that high pitched squeaky noise he has to listen to. And mind you, when we record, it's only one person recording at a time, so he is listening to only a high pitched squeaky voice for 4 hours. So any sound engineer would be like, oh, I hate this. And maybe they might have missed a tiny little glitch in the thing that they like in the recording that they can't edit out. So then they'll pick up for that.
Yeah. So when you're in the studio, are there any other voice actors at all?
Nope, there
Just
is
you?
just me. So basically, the script is in front of me. Also, we don't get the script in advance either, so we are cold reading everything. The script is in front of me. I get to see what the other characters are saying, and if you're lucky enough, the director will also be cool and read what the characters are saying, so that way you can kind of play off of it. But no, we don't have the other actors there at all.
Yeah, that's different than I thought. I thought you would kind of play off of one another. So Paimon's voice obviously has a super high energy vibe. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, I think everybody does. How do you get into our headspace for recording?
So my idea with Paimon is that like part of what helps any voice actor come up with a voice for a character is looking at the character itself. Half of her face is her eyeballs. So if you just yeah, I know. If you just imagine all of the air coming out of your eyeballs, all of a sudden you get this nasally voice
Oh my
already.
God.
And then because Hoya wanted it really high, you add the high pitchness to it. And then also like part of like I always had it added a lisp on her. Like it's a very light lisp, but it is there. So Paimon kind of has a lisp attached to it. And then like when it comes to like the attitude of Paimon, it was like what Hoyo had told me was they wanted her really talkative. They wanted people to think that she was annoying. And that they wanted this idea of a very childlike floating character hanging out with you. And I was like, great, I voice children all the time. I know exactly how to do that.
Yeah, but that's also something I don't think a lot of the fans realize is that there's nothing that's going to happen in voice acting that the director does not want or that the people in charge don't want.
That it's what the client doesn't want. Yeah, the director has some sway onto like gear the client to do something that he wants. But at the end of the day, the client is the one making those choices. And I remember being there on my first day and doing what I did for the audition. And they were like, can you do it? Can you go higher? And it's literally the Hoyo client that was sitting there saying, go higher. No, higher. We want it even higher. Can you possibly go higher? And I was like, you know what? Here you go. And I'm a ridiculously high-pitched person, so they got lucky on that.
Yeah, that's insane.
Oh, yeah, and then it kind of grew into what you have today.
Yeah. So with obviously Genshin has a huge voice cast. Do you get to meet any of the other VAs? And if you do, what is the atmosphere like with them?
I actually know most of them from previous stuff. For example, Kaylee Mills, Brianna Knickerbocker, Jenny Okabori, Allegra Clark, Zach Aguilar, Joe Zija, like all of those, a lot of those people, Alejandro Saab, we were all friends way before because in the voice acting industry, it's a lot smaller than you think. So usually we all kind of know each other either through like meeting each other like at meetups that voice actors have or like in classes or, just because we happen to work on the same project. So eventually there's a meetup because of that. Yeah, and then for those of I did make some new friends too, like Sarah Miller Cruz I met through this game, Chrissy Kate I met through this game, and Yakko I met through this game. All lovely people that I got to become friends with. So it's kind of like a mixture of like a lot of them I knew from before, and and some of them I like met through the game itself.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is obviously where we get to a tough question. You know the drama that's going on, and we can't avoid it. It's something that has to be discussed. So why was Jacob Takanashi getting the role as Kanish received so poorly by the other voice actors?
The reason why is because in the United States, obviously actors stick together and actors. I remember being a very young actor working in theater and being told you never take the role of a striking actor. You do not do that. That is not okay. It's not cool. But even further than that, in the United States, we have a strong history of sticking by our fellow workers and not taking the jobs of those that are striking. And you cannot like the way that I went about it. That is 100% valid. You're very welcome to have that opinion. But at the end of the day, it has been a strong history that when a worker takes the job of a striking actor, you call them out.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what you're supposed to do. And again, you don't have to like it. You don't have to like me for it. That's totally fine. But that's the reason why.
Yeah, I could see that. So is there any funny audition stories to kind of break the ice?
Oh, okay. So I auditioned for Sam Riegel once. And there is a story to this because I got the callback for it, and I'm not going to say what the project was because it doesn't matter. I didn't get it, but I did get the callback, and it was around Christmas time that this was happening, and it was one of the few times that I got a callback where they were like, "You're going to do the callback from home, so if you have any questions, call this number and ask Sam Riegel questions." And I was like, "It's Sam! Oh my God, it's Sam Riegel! Oh my God!" And when again, being trained as a young kid in acting, you are trained to stay in the room for as long as possible, which also means that if they tell you to call the casting director so you can try to make a first impression, try being the operative word, you do that. You call. Even if it's a question that you already know the answer of, does not matter. You call and you ask that question. And so I'm having a panic attack, being like, "Oh my God, Sam Riegel, Sam Riegel, he's everything, and he's so cool, and I'm not worthy." And for some reason, I got it in my head that I was calling like an office phone, and I wrote down exactly what I was gonna say, and I called, and it rang, and then it went to voicemail, and it goes, "Hi, this is Sam Riegel's personal iPhone. Leave a message at the tone." And for some reason, that made my panic worse. And all of a sudden, I couldn't read the words on my page that I wrote. And call that I left on his answering machine was this: "Hi, Sam. This is Corina Becker. I'm calling about the auditions for the callback for enter character name here that I definitely did not forget." I just had a few questions about the callback. So if you could call me back at your earliest convenience, I would really appreciate that. God, that was terrible. Click. When did I say that? Oh, it was terrible. He calls back later, does not mention this horrible email or voicemail that I left on his personal phone. And I still have that number in my phone today. He does not mention it. He actually apologizes to me, saying, "I'm so sorry I didn't answer. My kids have been sick." And I was like, "What are you apologizing for? You're Sam Riegel. I'm just Corina. I'm no one, but whatever." I ask my questions. We have a good conversation. He goes, "Yeah, I just think you're really funny." And I'm like, "Oh my God, he thinks I'm funny." Did not get the role. I get a call back for something else 6 months later.
Yeah.
And I walk in and Sam Riegel's there. And so are two of the producers for this show. This is also something that I didn't get. A lot of voice acting is hearing a lot of no's, so it's not a big deal that you just hear a lot of no's, and it's fine. You'll get over it. But I walk in, and I'm like, and I was thinking beforehand because I knew Sam Riegel was going to be there because it said who was going to be in the room with you for the callback, and I was like, I have to bring it up. Maybe I could just be funny and be like, "And this time I won't leave an awkward email on your cell phone," right? And so that way I break the ice, and it's a funny moment, and it's not a big deal. So I walk in, and Sam is like, "Hi, Corina, I'm so excited to hear from you again." So he definitely remembers that we've had a conversation before. So I have to be like, "Yeah, it's great to see you too. And this time I won't leave an awkward voicemail on your phone." And he goes, "What?"
So he didn't even hear it?
He didn't remember.
Oh, man.
And then, of course, the producers were like, well, now we have to hear about this awkward email. And again, your job as an actor is to stay in the room for as long as possible, even if it's to your own detriment, in telling a story about how you left the most awkward cell phone voice message on Sam Riegel's phone.
It actually reminds me of a story from whenever I was in 5th grade baseball. I called my coach, and I literally was trying to get him to come pick me up to take me to baseball practice. And I was literally like, all right, Dad, come pick me up. I love you. Bye. He showed up, and he was like, I'm not your dad. I'm like, I can't help it, dude. It's the only other grown man that I had talked to at the time. Do you like anime at all? Do you like anime?
I love anime. I remember being a kid, like, of course, my first anime was like Sailor Moon. And then I quickly jumped to Ghost in the Shell because that's the pipeline, right?
Yeah.
Sailor Moon to Ghost in the Shell. And was in love with manga because my friend was like, you like anime? Here's Battle Angel Alita. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Oh, that is one of my favorites. Oh my goodness. It's so good. Oh my goodness.
So good. Battle Angel Alita is not given enough love. And the movie, it was actually decent.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised. My favorite anime is Future Diary. Love that one.
Oh my goodness, it's so good. That's an older one, isn't it? Yeah. It's not one of the newer ones. It's pretty good. I like that one a lot. You obviously played Sailor Tennyako and Sailor Moon. What is your best period? What is your best memory of that time period in your life? Do you have like a super awesome memory from whenever you were voicing that role?
So another funny audition story was when I booked it, because I remember the studio that was recording it at the time originally was Studiopolis, and I love Jamie there, who runs that studio, and he for some reason loves me. I still don't know why. And I remember telling him, hey, I know you have auditions for Sailor Moon, Sailor Stars coming up. I will be an intern on this show if I have to, Jamie. Please, like, I don't know what, like, I don't care if it's behind the scenes in production or, voicing Walla for it. Please let me be a part of it. And I get the auditions. And it's one of those moments where, like, you never want to go into an audition with like, oh, this is it. This is the thing that you really want, because you're not going to book it at that point.
Yeah.
You're going to overthink it. You're going to put too much into it, if anything. And so, I had to have that little autistic chat with myself of being like, you have to treat this like every other audition or you're not going to book it. You have to audition and forget. You have to audition and forget. And so going into that audition, they only had me audition for the Sailor Stars characters. And I did that. And then like a month or two goes by and I was like, well, I didn't book it, whatever. I can beg Jamie to be like an intern on the production side or something.
Yeah.
No big deal. That way I'm at least a part of this show because I love Sailor Moon. I watched it when I was a kid. Only to like 6 months later, get a call from Jamie being like, hey, you want to be in Sailor Moon? I was like, Jamie, don't even me. and he's like, I'm not. They want you to be Sailor Tennyako. And I was like, yeah, cool, I'll do it. And he's like, great. And he hangs up. And then I call my mom. The phone conversation went like this. My mom goes, hello? And I go, I sounded like the little boy in Ghost Stories.
Yeah.
Sounded exactly like him. And she's like, oh my God, are you hurt? Do I need to call an ambulance? And she's like, you need to calm down. I can't understand you. I'm like, I got Sailor Moon. I'm going to be in Sailor Moon. And she's like, oh my God, don't ever do that to me again. I thought you were dying. So that was probably my favorite moment, actually.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great memory. So are there any new major roles coming up for you soon, or is it still just going to be Paimon? I know you're not voicing Paimon at the moment, but is there any new roles that you have coming up?
Correct. After Jacob was replaced, I sent notice to Hoyo saying that I would no longer voice Paimon until they became union, so they'll probably just replace me. But moving on, I do have other roles in the mix right now. A lot of them are under NDA, but something that actually came out recently that I'm actually really proud of. It is Robo Gobo. It's on Disney Plus. I voice a little snake character in it, and then I also voice some random other characters in some other episodes. So it's a really cute toddler show. I'm not in it a lot, but I'm in it a little bit, and it's a very adorable show, and it's probably not going to be anything that your audience is going to even want to see. But I'm really proud of it regardless, because it was like I've worked with Disney before on the on-camera side, and also in an anime that they were producing. I think I can't. I don't remember what Disney produces, but this was my first like official, actual, original animation with Disney that I've worked on. So it was really cool, and Disney was really awesome. They actually gave me the so in animation, when they're drawing the character at the beginning, they have like different drawings of the character to see, okay, which one they want to do, right? They have different drawings, and they actually gave me that cell that I of the three different choices that they went down with of what my character should look like. And they gave me that for my character. Her name is Sugar. She's Sugar the Snake. And they also gave me a sweater of the show. And it was really, I've never gotten free anything from any other project except for I, the Somnium Files. They did give me a free version of the game, which does not happen ever. So this was like the second time ever of me getting anything from anything that I've worked on. And it was really cool.
Yeah. Well, you obviously have like a direction that you want your career to go, right? So if you could have any role at all, like literally just any dream role.
Mothra. Yeah.
Mothra, like
I Mothra. I want to be Mothra.
That's actually dope. Oh my goodness. Like I'm gonna be a monster. I feel like I could be a pretty good monster. Maybe.
I think you could, yeah. With a voice like that, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so this is where we get to one that all of the fans want to know. It's what everybody's here for. Do you believe the collective work refusal will end when the strike does, even if Hoyo doesn't sign the agreement?
So I can't speak for the rest of my castmates when it comes to this, so I'll only speak on my own behalf on this. As I said earlier, when Jacob got replaced as his character Kanichi in Genshin, I had sent word to Hoyo that said I refuse to come back until the game is union specifically. And the reason why I said union specifically, because I know some other actors, they just want an AI like protection signed. That's all they want, and they're willing to come back into work. For me personally, I will not come back unless it's union, and the reason why is because we are still having issues with getting paid within the 30 days as stated on our contract. If we still, and mind you, remember, I like a year or two ago, I had come forward stating that I had not gotten paid within 7 months, like for 7 months. This most recent time, I've been consistently not getting paid on a 30-day basis, but like for this one, it took 5 months for me to get paid finally.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It's a very long time, and I work paycheck to paycheck. And at this point, I'm getting more into debt because I'm not getting paid on time.
Yeah.
And if I still have to ask my parents to help me pay for my rent, I might as well actually take a stand here and say, well, I have to do that anyway. So knowing that my contract is not being obligated the way it should be currently in the state that it's in, it tells me that even if an AI protection were to be signed, unless there is actual enforceable protections, I cannot trust that it will actually do anything. And I look, you can have your feelings about what you feel about SAG, but at the end of the day, voice actors do not make enough money to pay for lawyers to be able to actually enforce what's in our contracts, which is why these studios don't pay us on time, because they know this.
I could definitely see that as like the main issue. That would be, if I was voice acting, that would be my number one issue, is getting paid on time, considering the fact that I worked in the acting industry and actually experienced it firsthand. Whenever someone blows you off again and again and again, and you don't get paid for months, it's ridiculous.
And the fact that this has already been addressed once and it still has not been fixed, and it's 2 years since then or 1 year. But this is a consistent problem within our industry, is that studios regularly do not pay their non-union work on time.
Yeah.
Regularly. And actors are too afraid to say anything because the minute that we do, we're blacklisted. I know I'm blacklisted from the last studio I spoke about this about.
Well,
I know that.
That's definitely something that my viewers know about, because it's something that I bring up often, is the fact that in the voice acting space, blacklisting happens way more than anybody even wants to admit that it does. Whether it's coming from directors, casting directors, things like that.
For sure. And it's why most actors will not say anything. It's why we stay silent while we're suffering and just trying to get paid. And again, voice actors, most voice actors like myself are paycheck to paycheck. I'm on food stamps myself. I know several other voice actors in Genshin that are also on food stamps, or they have 4 to 6 other jobs that they're working on besides just voice acting, because it does not pay the bills. And so knowing all of that, and then on top not getting paid in a timely manner, this is very simple stuff that should be easy to do. And at the end of the day, technically, legally, it is the studio's obligation to pay us on time. But Hoyo is the one that needs to sign the SAG contract, so that way we actually have enforceable protections when it comes to this.
Okay, yeah.
So for myself, I will not come back until it is union, because as of right now, I cannot trust that I will get paid on time unless a union is actually there, a union representative that can call them and say, hey, you didn't pay your actor.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. That definitely clears the air, I feel like, with a lot of people about, at least your intentions when being involved. And I definitely think a lot of people could be empathetic to that situation, because I know that I definitely can, with not being paid and also being a contractor myself, IRL. It's something you seriously have to deal with. And if you don't have anybody protecting you, then you have to pay the upfront cost to get yourself protected, essentially, to make sure that you get paid as a person. But it was really great having you on. I hope you come back. Where can fans find you at? And if you still have your acting course, I would love for you to plug it, because a lot of my viewers actually took your acting course and they actually had good things to say about it. So it was.
I love teaching acting. I'm on a little bit of a hiatus at the moment, but I promise my classes will come back at the end of the year. You can find it at www.corinabetker.com. And if you again, the reason why I'm on a hiatus is because I've been so sick, it's hard to get out of bed most days. And so I promise they'll come back. I just want to be at a place where I'm not worried about if I have to end up in the hospital that day or not, so that people actually get the acting class they paid for. And then if you want to follow me on my socials, Twitter is @TheBirdZulu. On Blue Sky, it's Corina Betker. On Instagram, it's Corina.Betker. And TikTok, it's also Corina Betker. But knowing with how I've been lately, because I've been so sick, I've been just reading a lot of romance novels. So I'm probably just going to be talking about a lot of that. I just finished Fourth Wing, as I said earlier. Yeah. I'm on A Court of Thorns and Roses now, and although I hated the first book, I've loved the rest of them, and so now it's a problem. You
know something crazy? I've literally been talking about this in almost every single video I've made so far. I have been addicted to romance anime for the past couple of weeks. Romance anime is what introduced me to anime, and then I just moved on to action and adventure for the longest time, for 8 years. And then I recently just picked it up again, and I was like, oh man, dude, I feel like I relapsed. I've been watching so much of it. It's crazy. It makes me hate my life, that my life isn't like that. I swear it's not a good thing. Anyways, a terrible way and a sad way to end it. Just talking about how, we all wish we could find that one person we love. But glad to know that everything is going well. I hope that we have you on again soon. And I really appreciate you coming on and addressing everything that's going on. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.